welcome back. Thank you all for hanging out with us today. We are having a blast. It's going a little crazy here on our end, but I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I wanted to take some time to talk about our men's shirts. So we get this question a lot. It shows our shirts are quite more expensive than a lot of other people's shirts, and I want to take some time to explain why. So I have 3 different styles of shirts. We have our Mary Milliner's Historical Costuming line shirt here, which is all machine done. We have our Sycamore Spring Clothier Standard Historical Clothing, which is a hand-finished shirt with some machining. And my wonderful husband is trying on our handmade Sycamore Spring Clothier handmade shirt. This is entirely done by hand. This shirt runs at $250 for an entirely handmade shirt, and I'm going to point out a little bit of the different things that make these shirts different from one another. So on this handmade shirt, this is made of linen, and I want to just point out, we have reinforcing along the shoulder and around the arm sleeve. All of this is backstitched into place, and these beautiful needle gathers, and it's needle stroke, so it's done. You can see the gathering stitches here, but then using the tip of the needle, you get these beautiful little even and very similar looking gathers. Wow, my brain is not working this afternoon. And then you come down to the wristband and you have the same thing. Everything is applied by hand. You got beautiful little buttonholes. These have 2 buttonholes for cuff buttons, and the inside, everything is all felled very nicely, and tiny little stitches. White on white is very hard to see. So that is our men's hand done shirt. Everything on this is hand done. So those are $250, tax included. Thank you very much. Now we're going to look at what makes our shirts different. So there are a lot of different styles of shirts that you can see out there. Ours are based off of historical patterns, and this is the same shape and build across all 3 of these shirts. It's just how it's put together that is different. So here you have, this is our hand finished shirt. You have the reinforcing piece at the end of the neck slit and the bar tack to help keep that ripstop, to help keep that from tearing as you put it on. Across the collar, you have the triangular gusset at the neck, which is all done and hand finished. You have the shoulder strap, which is down, and this one has back stitching and whip stitching on it just for style. We do some that is visible and some that is not. It's just by choice. And that goes all the way across the shoulder to help support any kind of pulling and wear and tear from your coat and your waistcoat. Again, you get gathers across the back. The collar is nicely done with 2 rows of buttons depending on how you want to wear it, whether you want it higher for room for a stock or low to wear without. Going to the inside of the garment, we're going to look at the interior part of the sleeve. So you saw on the hand finished or on the handmade shirt, there is this reinforcing piece that goes all the way around the arm of the sleeve. That's going to help where you get so much wear and tear around moving your arms. Those extra layers of fabric are really going to help keep that from rubbing out. You have the gusset under the sleeve to make room for your arm's eye. And then you have a reinforcement here as well, so that when you're pulling your shirt in and out of breeches or wearing it, you have extra room and it's not going to rip that slit up. Like I said before, these are all these pieces are put in place based off of historical extant examples that we've seen. These are actually utilizing the Canex pattern. We have permission from the Canex to use their pattern, and it's a fantastic shirt pattern because it has all of the bits that are necessary and that they used in the 18th century to make these men's shirts last decades. Men's shirts look the same through much of the 18th century into the 19th century. And now we're going to look at, as my wonderful cameraman is trying to guess what I'm doing, now we're going to look at the machined shirt. Again, all the same pieces you saw on this one. It had beautiful hand finishing on the inside and along the collar and shoulders. For this one, sorry that it's white. We only have these in white at the moment. It is all done by machine. And again, it's thread matching is key for this so that the machine stitching does not show, but it's a cheaper option. So it was $250 for our entirely hand done. Our hand finished ones are $185 because there's still an extreme amount of handwork that goes into these pieces. All of the gussets are applied by hand. And this one is $120, and it covers all of the work that goes into reinforcing these the exact same way as it does in all the other pieces, but this time with a sewing machine as opposed to doing it by hand. And the lovely little neck gusset is still applied by hand to give you the look that you want. But this is all done by machine so that you have this beautiful edge, and it depends on what you want. So this is what we offer more for our intro people to reenacting because it's a little bit more cost effective, especially if you're just diving in. So that's a little bit on our men's shirts. Our white shirts are using our beautiful thread buttons that are spectacular. Sorry you backed up again, but I have to highlight those. Lovely thread buttons. Our colored ones could come with, this one has bone, but we have antler or horn as well. So there are lots of different options that you can have fun with. But these are our men's shirts. Thanks for joining.